Hello, babes. All right, so I wanted to get on here because, man, I've just been thinking about you guys so much today. I'm like, oh, I should tell him this, and I should tell him this, and it's just like I'm just exploding with just awarenesses and aha moments and breakthroughs. And so, anyways, what I wanted to come on here today, like right now, I'm just gonna give you one thing. So, me and Nuts, just so you know, me and Nuts, we go way back, like way, way back, right? So if you guys have been watching my or reading any of my Instagram posts, like it's been extreme, okay? And for the longest time, I used to get like, well, I still kind of do. I used to get like a charge off Nuts. I used to get a rush. I used to get like this. I've been pulled. I still am. I'm pulled to Nuts. And the reason why is because when I was in bodybuilding, like, you weren't really allowed to have that stuff because your fats were so low, and it was something I really craved, and I love trail mix. And then I started to, I just basically created this fear with it that I was never going to have it. And, I could only have so much. And that's what led me to, like stealing from the grocery stores and, eating the bulk nut aisle, which doesn't seem that bad, but it got bad. Okay. Because it led to other things in the grocery store. But anyways, back to Nuts. So I just want to, I want to just kind of, fill you in on something that I've been really training with this. I'm not perfect. Like, I'm far from it. So just so you guys know, like, I still have definitely lots of remnants that like to sneak their, peek their head out and try to get me back to the way I used to be, like old patterns of, feeling like I have to have it right now. I have to eat it. Or, just in February, I found myself going back to an old pattern of trying to outwork my diet. And it went so south. Like I ended up starting to eat all because of emotion. And so the point here that I wanted to just give you guys is when it comes to training yourself around food, you really, really want to ask yourself, what is the emotion there? So for me and Nuts, right? So I've been doing this a lot lately with every food. So every meal that I eat, but specifically with Nuts, and specifically like during times where I'm not really hungry, but I have this pull to eat. And I ask myself, okay, well, what is the emotion there? What is and at first I'm like, oh, there's nothing there. Like, it's, I'm just hungry, or I just want to taste it. I just want the taste. I just want to taste it. And then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. All right, there's something more here, right? And so I go deeper. I just kind of look deeper. Hey, what is really driving this? And when I look at what's in there, it's a fear. It's a fear that that these won't be there later, right? That I have to have it now. That I don't know, like I just have to have it now because I'm basically not sure if it's going to be here. In 5 minutes, in an hour. Like, that's my initial response because that's the way it got wired. Okay, whether it's true or not doesn't matter. It's the fact that it was wired like that from my dieting, bodybuilding days. And a lot of us have been wired like that because of the repetition through diets that we've done. Okay, and so you want to ask yourself, well, what is the emotion that's driving there? For most of us, it's fear that we won't be able to have it later. And so we want to just see that, okay, and then ask ourselves, okay, well, by way of eating this, what will I experience? What will I know? Like, because everything we do is forward emotion. It's either to run from a particular emotion or it's to go towards a pleasurable emotion. And so by way of me eating Nuts, I kind of feel like safe, like everything's okay. Like, there's enough. I'm safe. It's peaceful. Like, it's, it's everything's okay is basically kind of what comes to my mind, that there's plenty there, that there's plenty to go around, that there's no rush, and so really it's peace. Okay. And so when I notice myself in these situations, I tell myself, I have to train myself. This is part of the training. I tell myself, hey, it's okay, right? Like, let your unconscious know It's okay, right? Have compassion for it. Understand that this is just the way it was wired. And just affirm that, hey, it's okay. This food will be there later. The nuts will be there literally in 1 minute, in 1 hour, in 1 day, in 1 week. The nuts will be there in 1 month. The nuts will be here in 1 year. Hell, the nuts will be here on the day I die. Like, they will. I could have these nuts sitting right next to me the entire time, for the rest of my life. Like, they aren't going anywhere. There's an abundant amount of nuts. And I can always have 1 or I can have 20, And so just starting to relate to, hey, breathe. It's okay, right? That's the first thing, is breathe. And then affirm, it's okay and why it's okay. And then train yourself, hey, I don't really need this right now. I'm going to let it sit there. And I'm going to be okay with it. No, I'm going to know that it's there for whenever I'm ready. And so just start when anybody, like if there's a particular food that you find yourself doing that with, which I'm sure is most of us, that's how we want to start training it. So ask yourself, hey, what is the emotion there, that I'm feeling prior to eating the food? And what is driving it? It's fear of fear that it won't be there later. And then ask yourself, well, what is it that I'm after? What will I know by way of eating this? Well, I just feel safe. I'd be okay. And so just go straight to that feeling rather than thinking that the nuts will get you that. Because if you think that you're going to access peace through eating the nuts, then you will just continue to eat nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts, and you're going to fear them, and feel like there's never enough, and nuts are a lot of calories, and they're really hard to stop eating. So just go straight to the peace. Take the middleman out. Breathe. Try to find that stillness that we've practiced, the stillness that we practice in the breath. And then affirm, it's okay. These will be here later, and I'll see if I'm hungry for them later. Okay? So training the mind, all right? Hopefully that helps you guys. I love you guys so much. See you later. Bye.